Welcome to a Women's Day special episode of Speak Easy. I'm Rudrani and I'm with the wonderful and always candid Kajol. Kajol, thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
And we are obviously, as you see, very, very comfortable,
Very,
settled.
very much so.
While, of course, Women's Day should be celebrated every day because we are special in every way. It's important to have conversations about what women in different works of their life go through. When you started off, you were very particular about the journey that you would take, the direction that you would do your films in. Tell me what has changed today about the representation of women in films.
I think films have always been, to my way of thinking, a reflection of society. It's what society is thinking at that point of time, is what we make films about. So I think when I started off, we had this whole rage of, very, very much so, still is, I feel, up to a point, very, very male dominated, like only films which were like mainly just hero based, action and drama, and not too much of comedy, but just like that. And I think what's nice to see is that in the last 5-6 years, our whole range of movies has changed. It's like the audience suddenly woke up and said, okay, we're tired of this shit.
Yeah.
We want something else. And, different kinds of films were being made, different relationships were being portrayed. It wasn't just every film was not about a love story all the time. And, a villain could be so cool. And all of that. So I think it's nice to see that society has finally woken up and decided to hear different stories. And one of those stories very, very strongly is the story of women in every different avatar, as they put it, as a heroine, as a villain, as as a victim. I mean, in every which way, they're suddenly looking up at women as a huge, big part of society. I mean, it was women, I think, were always somewhere, have always been through time, a kind of a hidden part of society, not very much acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I think right now is the time when suddenly everybody's waking up and acknowledging them. Most importantly, yes, we have a huge amount of, we have a huge portion of society which is talking about abuse and which is talking about, how we should be treated and how, etc. But I think most importantly, what we are going through right now is in kind of an awakening. Yeah. You're waking up and you're realizing that this is 50% of your society. This is 50% of the people who could be earners, who could run the society. Your economy will change if you employ these many people who really, really want to do work and who are not in it just to, who are not doing it just because they are told that they should do it, who really, really genuinely want to make a change in their lives. So I think, I'm very, very happy to be part of this awakening.
Devi.
Yes.
And importantly, 9 wonderful women, and of course a lot of women on the set, I'm sure. Otherwise,
there was a lot of women. There were really, really a lot of women. I think guys on the set were feeling a little like, ooh, I'm not feeling like I'm part of this club anymore. So I mean,
welcome
that's
to our world.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the guys somewhere around the line were feeling a little bit like, we should कुछ गलत नहीं बोलना चाहिए. यहाँ पे तो कुछ गलत नहीं बोलना चाहिए.
Because you'll get like a unison stare.
Yeah, basically. So I think, but it was amazing to work with so many women, and nobody fought with anybody. I just want to put that down on record. There were no makeup fights. There were no clothes fights. There was nothing that was, typical के 4 औरतें होंगी साथ में तो झगड़ा तो होना ही होना है. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. We had a great time working. We had an absolutely fabulous time working together. And I think what Devi speaks about, coming back to the film, is about that. It's about women empowering each other. Yeah. I think that is also part of the awakening. I think that is also part of the awakening where, in society, we are not only talking about men turning up and looking at women as productive members of society. You're talking about women standing up for themselves and other women around them as well. To say that, okay, I'm not only going to pull you down, I'm going to pull myself up. Yeah. I'm going to pull myself up first and give you a hand up. I think that's really where Devi speaks.
There have been a few films, Sankiak and others where Tapsi and Bhumi collaborated. There are so many films where women are leading actors and working together. Yeah. A film like yours. And they also have brought it up how this forever narrative has been that women are against each other.
Yeah.
The time you worked, because women are also part of the same patriarchal cycle, they are told to fight against women. They're almost instigated at times. But,
It's almost like we live up to their expectations. We were living up to their expectations, not up to our expectations, because we didn't have any. So we were living up to somebody else's idea of what women should be. And today it's like you're changing all that, you're breaking all these patterns and coming out and saying that no, we're not men, we're not women, we're human beings. And we have a different story to tell you.
Tell me, what is one major change that you've seen in attitude of the people around you when they come and offer you scripts today, narrating female characters?
One thing that I see in people narrating films to me is confidence. Because earlier when we had scripts that were narrated to us, it was always, इसमें ना we'll have to make sure कि अच्छा हीरो होगा. 2 मिनट का रोल होना चाहिए, लेकिन हीरो का रोल बाबा बड़ा हीरो लेना पड़ेगा इसमें. तो हाउ विल पिक्चर कैसे बिकेगी, और हाउ विल बी, कौन जाएगा पिक्चर देखने के लिए. नहीं तो how will there will be no this thing, what will happen, ye collection and wo collection, and it was not economically feasible. Like I said, it was just not economically feasible. And today when you have people coming to you and narrating films to you that are about women or spoken by a feminine voice, I would say, more than anything else, it is always about, it is done with a confidence ke अरे चलेगी यार, कहीं ना कहीं तो चलेगी. We'll use it or put it on a digital platform, or we'll have this platform, or we'll have that platform. Who cares? Yeah, every kind of film does well today. Correct. It's that. So that is what is so freeing to see that you have suddenly this, it is suddenly now, it's opened up an entirely different avenue of every film can be made and will be accepted. Most importantly, yes, you will have an entire lot of people sitting and trolling you, and but I think that what we can take great pride in as a people today is that there are also that society has now made it economically feasible for every kind of film to be made. So as a society, we have woken up.
I was remembering that wonderful post you put out, I remember, about your and Ajay's love story, where you actually opened up about what you went through, during your miscarriage or otherwise. And I think it's lots of courage it takes courage to put out that part of you, and you wanted people to sort of, learn from that, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why it is important and especially, in the industry, we've seen how women, after a certain age, the comments that they get have become even more sexist and ageist, when it comes to about the kind of roles that are offered. Once you're married and you're in a certain age, that gets even more difficult because of the way they look at you. How do you tackle that, and how do you see it changing today?
I think that conversation has to change in your own head as well. I think it has to change in your own head. I'm not telling you not to expect it, because it's bound to be. There will be a random few people who will turn around and tell you that, you're too old for this, or you're not worthy of this, or, what you were and what you are today is a zameen आसमान में फर्क है. ये तो कुछ लोग बोलेंगे ही बोलेंगे, लेकिन लोग तो बोलते ही रहते हैं ना, गाने बने हैं उस पे. So, I mean, like, from time immemorial, you will have those, like you said, you will have a certain percentage of people who will want to pull you into that conversation and make sure that you hear only the bad parts of it. But I think that conversation, if you change it in your head, like I have a lot of people who turn around and tell me, ma'am, you're looking so good today. You're looking so good today. You look better today than you did 10 years back. And, I was like, yeah, I do. And you know why that is? You know why I'm looking better today than I did 10 years back? Because I believe that I look because I believe that I look fabulous today. The conversation in my head changed. And if the conversation in my head changed, the conversation that you hear and you project will change. And what you expect will change in front of you. It's as simple as that. It really is. And it may sound a little woo-woo when I say it, or it may sound like unbelievable in a certain way. But I'm telling you, it's true. It's really true. When the mirror reflects back what you want to see, it's something else altogether. I think that we all need to be kinder to ourselves. We all need to be kinder to the people around us as well. I think there's this huge, there's a huge, I hesitate to use this word because it's been used so politically, so very, very much. But there's a kind of an intolerance around everything. I mean, we have road rage. We have, we just aren't kind enough.
Yeah.
Or we don't expect that kindness, and we're not willing to give that leeway and kindness to people around us as well.
who are the women who've really influenced you in
I think
becoming
my
what you are
mother.
today?
My mother for sure. I would give her like 20 on 220 for, just raising me in the most amazing. I realize it was amazing today. Today, when I have my kids and I'm looking at life, I realize that she raised me by giving me the tools when I was young enough not to understand. And I understand it today. When I turn around and my son asks me a question or my daughter asks me a question and I have an answer for it, is when I realize that my mother taught me this when I was so very small. And today I realize that she handed me those tools to grow up into a better person and to be able to handle my life well. So yes, she's hugely inspirational for me. My grandmother, because I mean, she was so very independent, and the way she lived her life, I hope and pray, touch wood, that I have the. I just really pray that I do, because she had really, she was something, she is something else altogether. She really is. She was driving a car till she was 85, lived alone, had 6 dogs, ran her house, ran my mother's house. I mean, it was amazing. And to see her, and you sat and you talked to her, she had, she knew what was happening in the world. She had advice for you, from financial to personal to professional to everything on it. And she was amazing. She enjoyed her life. She dressed beautifully. I think my love for chiffon saris came from that. Yeah, and I think she was just an amazingly, multi-faceted person that I hope that, she really is inspirational to me.
Fantastic. Before I move on to my last segment, it's going to be quick, and there's a little bit of cute hamper that you get to win at the end of it.
Yes! I love hampers!
It's a cute one though. Entire thing about the love for SRK and Kajol doesn't end, but now the rumors have come up about how you're like reuniting apparently with a Rani film.
It's a rumor. Currently, it really is a rumor. I have no clue what everybody's talking about. So
no one's approached you yet and stuff.
Not yet.
But tell me, after the entire, blockbuster that Tanhaji has become, so the offers have even more increased.
Yeah.
You got accolades for it. So tell me, how do you look at that?
I think I'm very grateful. I'm very relieved that Tanhaji did well. I have really a huge sense of relief. I'm very grateful that it did, the kind of business that it did. And most importantly, I think I'm very proud of the fact that I saw this video where everybody is standing and they sing, they're saying Vande Mataram, Jai Hind at the end of the film. And I was just like, this is why we make films. This is why we make films. We make films to make people feel so very deeply from their heart. And I am very proud of that. I really am.
And did the part where Saif came out and said about the entire politics of Tanhaji bother you? Because I know that was spoken about. Did you get worried?
Not at all. Not at all. I think he's got a great sense of humor, and he just talks and talks. You're supposed to, pick and choose what you want to hear out of
Advice
that.
for Saif. We call this segment Nothing But the Truth, and the person sitting in front of me has always been very truthful. This is going to be very easy for you. A sexist comment that you came across in the industry, and how did you deal with it?
Somebody actually turned around and told me that it's actually not a sexist comment, because somebody turned around and told me, he says, you're going to make a very good actor. You are a very good actor. And I was like, what do you mean by actor? I said, I'm an actress. So she's like, no, you're an actor, as in the term actor. So I thought it was a huge compliment, sexist compliment on my behalf. But I thought that it was a huge compliment, and I still remember it till today. So.
Few actors you'd really want to collaborate with on screen, female actors.
Female actors, I would have loved to work with Devi. She was eternal. She is eternal. She is eternal. I would have loved to do a film with her. So she was. It's my one regret in my life that I did not have that chance to work with her.
Anybody from the current crop?
And anybody from the current crop? I think any one of them. I think they're all quite cool. They're really cool. They're really like. With it, and they're really like, I loved Mukta, I loved Nina, I loved working with them, I loved Neha to work with. I think Neha and me have done Helicopter Ela as well. Yeah. So this is our second film together. So I think all of them, in fact I told Mukta that, she has an amazing voice. I couldn't imagine, she's Mukta Barve, she's so Maharashtrian, I mean, she's just so Maharashtrian. But when she starts speaking, she becomes that entire Muslim character with the burqa. You can't imagine her as anything else. So I think I am really, really grateful that I have worked with so many women on this film, and it's been amazing to work with all of them.
What are the few things you feel Hindi films should stop doing in support of empowering and supporting women?
I think tone down their sexuality a little bit, so that we can empower women also, and so that it can make the film watchable for different ages as well.
Basically,
for a regular film, I feel that the sexuality needs to be toned down a little bit.
One thing that you wouldn't do today when you're asked to, because you're in a different space, when they come and they write it in a script, you would definitely say no to it.
What are the things that I heartily object to, which, considering the film that we've just made is completely like maybe a little off topic, is that I refuse to enact rape on screen. I just refuse to enact it. I refuse to be a part of it. Not because I don't believe that it's happening anywhere, or not because I don't personally, that I personally have anything against it, but it's just that it's highly uncomfortable for me as a person, as a woman, to enact it. And I don't think that it's necessary for me to do so as of now. I realize that it's happening. It's not something that I am blind to. It's not something that that I don't know that is happening around the world. And I definitely stand up for it. I mean, in the sense that I definitely stand up and say that this should not be happening. But as an actor, for me to enact something like that, or for somebody to shoot it, it actually requires shooting days. And for you to actually be put into that position. So no, that's something that's a huge big no for me.
The last one is very simple. What are the few things that the industry thought you should change and that you refuse to do?
My unibrow? Lots of things. I mean, like, they thought I should dress up better. They thought that I should not wear my specs. And they thought I should recognize people from much further distance than I do. I don't know, lots of things. I've never really paid that much attention to it.
And how did you at the end sort of look at it? You just laughed it off and you tell them, I'm going to be myself.
Yeah, exactly. I think you can't take it too seriously. You really can't. I think you can't take yourself too seriously, and you can't take everybody else's opinion too seriously also. मतलब सब कुछ मतलब मिर्ची मसाला मार के ही रहना चाहिए.
Thank you so much. It's always so wonderful. And to end it, like we say, you're celebrating Women's Day. To all the women out there, what is one thing you'd like to tell them on this day and wish them all a Women's Day?
First of all, let me wish you a happy Women's Day. I'm wishing you a happy Women's Year, actually. I don't think that it belongs to one day. एक दिन क्यों? पूरा साल ले लो. और मैं यही कहूँगी कि जो औरतें होती हैं, वो एक दूसरे के लिए भी होती हैं. सिर्फ खुद के लिए नहीं होती हैं. और जैसे कहते हैं, the Women's Club needs to be made stronger. So stand up for yourself. Stand up for the woman next to you. Pull her up with you when you stand up. That's the biggest thing that I can tell you for this year.
Thank you. Organic makeup products. I hope you love it. And
Thank you.
But it's a little bit.
Just
a little bit from our side. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Kajol. I always have such a lovely time chatting with you.
Me too. Thank you. Happy Women's Day.
Thank you so much.